Great question. So actually our very first flip was through private money. So it was actually Dedric's mom who had loaned us $10,000, I believe it was, $10,000 to do our very first flip.
So yeah, we didn't start with a lot of money. I mean, we weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth. We both were raised by single moms. So when we started out, we didn't have a lot of cash, didn't have a lot of credit. Our first house, one of the first investment properties we bought was in 2018 on Grace Avenue in Burlington. We paid, what was it, $15,000 for the house. Went to a local bank, got a loan. The house needed work because it was a $15,000 house. It was a little 2-bed, 1-bath house. So we got a construction loan from a local bank, put down 20% as a down payment. And like she said, we got a loan from my mom who loaned us some of the money to do the renovations. Renovated it cost about $25,000 for the repairs. So we were all in for about $40,000. Then we turned around and rented that property. So our mortgage payment was like $300 a month, but we rented it for $750 a month. So we started making some cash flow from that property. And then about a year ago, we saw that that neighborhood had appreciated tremendously in value. So that house we had spent $40,000 buying and fixing up was now worth $120,000. So then we sold it, and of course you use that profit to roll over and to buy more property. So that's how we started with that small investment.
So we do acquire a lot of land. And that's one of the things I brought to my husband is I wanted to do some tiny homes.
Container homes, tiny homes.
In the area as well, so absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, so as far as a general contractor, we typically find them through referrals. So we ask for referrals of, who's a really good contractor that you know, that you've worked with. So that's typically how we find our contractors.
Just curious on your first project.
Great question. So actually our very first flip was through private money. So it was actually Dedric's mom who had loaned us $10,000, I believe it was, $10,000 to do our very first flip.
So yeah, we didn't start with a lot of money. I mean, we weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth. We both were raised by single moms. So when we started out, we didn't have a lot of cash, didn't have a lot of credit. Our first house, one of the first investment properties we bought was in 2018 on Grace Avenue in Burlington. We paid, what was it, $15,000 for the house. Went to a local bank, got a loan. The house needed work because it was a $15,000 house. It was a little 2-bed, 1-bath house. So we got a construction loan from a local bank, put down 20% as a down payment. And like she said, we got a loan from my mom who loaned us some of the money to do the renovations. Renovated it, cost about $25,000 for the repairs. So we were all in for about $40,000. Then we turned around and rented that property. So our mortgage payment was like $300 a month, but we rented it for $750 a month. So we started making some cash flow from that property. And then about a year ago, we saw that that neighborhood had appreciated tremendously in value. So that house we had spent $40,000 buying and fixing up was now worth $120,000. So then we sold it, and of course you use that profit to roll over and to buy more property. So that's how we started with that small investment.
Actually a business major at UNC Greensboro, and I'm more of like a visionary like Krystal, so I'm not really good at the numbers. But speaking on numbers, how do you go about figuring out the annual profit, how much each area would cost? How do you go about that?
Hold on, I think she took a dig at me. What y'all think? She said I'm a visionary like Krystal. I ain't a numbers person like Krystal. No, I'm joking
My
with
baby
you.
could do numbers too.
Listen, I don't. I don't be playing with them numbers. Look, I got to stay in my lane.
No, I'm the numbers guy. And real estate, that's the beautiful thing about real estate is that a lot of it is math and basic math. You don't have to know calculus and trigonometry, nothing crazy, basic addition and subtraction. In real estate, the value of a property is determined by what similar properties in that neighborhood have sold for. So it's actually kind of easy to figure out what a property is worth by looking at what similar properties have sold for recently in that neighborhood. So I mean, you can go to sites like Zillow, or you can hire a realtor that can tell you, hey, here's what this property is worth as is, here's what it's worth when it's fixed up, and also even rents. You can go to Craigslist, you can go to apartments.com and be like, all right, how much is this 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment gonna rent for? You can look at what comparable apartments rent for, and that's gonna tell you the market of what that property should rent for. So the numbers, I think, is my passion. It's the easy part of it.
Home inspection versus non-home inspection. The first episode, you guys came across that. What do you recommend?
You always want to get a home inspection. So the question is, should you get a home inspection? Absolutely. Whenever you're buying a piece of real estate, whether it's an investment property or a property you're going to live in, always get a home inspection, because a home inspector is going to go through that house with a fine-tooth comb. They're going to give you like a 50-page report of everything that's wrong with the house. Even if it looks like there's nothing wrong with it, they go through it with a fine-tooth comb. So you always want to get that home inspection, because that tells you any issues that'll need to be addressed in that property.
Even if you're buying it as is, right? So we bought all these properties as is, so it really didn't matter if, something was wrong with it or not. We'd already purchased, and we said, hey, we're gonna take on the headache anyway.
And we're buying them cheap, so
right.
We're buying them knowing that there's gonna be issues in these houses.
Right, but that home inspection also helps with our scope of work. So we really turn that home inspection over we reincorporated it into our scope of work to give to our contractors as well.
Yeah, that's a good question. Especially after the real estate crash in 2008, there was a ton of foreclosures. We haven't bought any foreclosures, but I know a lot of people who have found deals buying foreclosures. I mean, we're typically buying houses that are dilapidated, they're boarded up, they're vacant, no one wants them, they're the ugly house, and we'll buy them and go ahead and fix them up and then make a profit on it.
And I mean, not all of our houses are boarded up. So we do buy a lot of rentals, right? Rentals that are from tired landlords, and it's very easy to spot those when driving around your neighborhood. Everyone knows what an owner-occupied house looks like, right? Because there's a lot of care that goes into their home. Their lawn is extremely manicured. I don't think we can drive by a house with Marlon without him mentioning the lawn, like in detail, like detail. But so we're really looking for that home that, whether it's boarded up or not, we know it needs a lot of TLC. So the thing with foreclosures is right now, even a lot of banks aren't releasing their foreclosures, right? They're turning them into rentals themselves, or they're putting them back on the market and they're selling them.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part about foreclosures right now, is because of where the market is, the banks are making a profit off of them as well.
And just to piggyback on what Krystal said, one of the things we teach for people who are looking to get into doing what we do is we teach something called driving for dollars. If anyone's ever heard of driving for dollars, it's driving around your neighborhood or your community and opening your eyes and looking for houses that are dilapidated. Maybe the grass hasn't been cut in 2 months. The hedges aren't trimmed. There's a broken window. You see little signs that tells you that there may be something going on with this property where the seller may be interested in receiving an offer or selling it, right? They don't have a for sale sign in the yard, but I want you guys to start looking for that as you drive around town. And if you find something, you got some buyers here.
Right.
We'll buy it. Send it our way. We'll buy it. We'll pay you a finder's fee. That's called driving for dollars. Not listed with the realtor.
Okay. And a lot of times they don't know they're ready to sell until we call. So they don't know that they selling until they get that phone call from us.
And so if you see me in front of your house,
Right.
Taking pictures.
yeah, I'm looking it up. I'm mowing your yard, or trash out in the yard. I'll be out there running numbers, trying to find out who you are.
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome.
That's a great question.
Great question. It's always a challenge to find really, really reliable, great contractors or subcontractors, right? We like to support local, so we don't want to have to bring, and people was like, oh, I got a crew out here in New York, we can be down. I'm like, oh my God.
Charlotte.
Oh, we got someone out in Charlotte, or we got one in South Carolina, and we're not just going through those headaches of trying to bring whole crews in, right? And I didn't want like huge corporations, because I wanted for what we all do to be able to impact people's lives, right? I wanted to be able to give them that exposure to really impact their business. We started doing it working 9 to 5, literally 50-hour weeks. We had 2 small kids. And we were running a business. So real estate was our side hustle when we started. And it's important for us to tell people that, because it's a side hustle for a lot of people. right now, but done effectively, you can do it and transition the same way we did into it, literally full time. So for us, just gearing up for a season 2, new development, new.
We're continuing to buy rental properties and build our rental portfolio.
To the wheels fall off, right? No.
Yeah, no limit.
Yep, no limit. And it's really because what we're doing right now is to really set up future generations, right? So as much of a head start as we can give our kids is really what we're going to do it until we can't do it anymore. God willing, we are just going to ride it till the wheels fall off or till y'all get sick of us being on your tube. And even then, just DVR it so we can get them numbers.
Yeah, just to add, I mean, we started in 2017. We just started documenting our journey of getting into real estate. You know, I started with my cell phone, you know, videotaping us walking through properties and making offers on properties and buying rental properties and dealing with tenants. And I had no idea it would grow into this. Like my wife said, we just want to try to inspire and help as many people as we can.
No, and they trying to keep you out their area.
So here's the thing, we come from the hood, so we're not afraid of that, right? I grew up in Roxbury in Boston, which is one of the most dangerous, gang, drug-infested neighborhoods in Boston. So, Used to be. Now it's gentrified, right? So what used to be the hood is now a high-dollar area. So don't let things like that deter you.
Absolutely not.
The property on Rawhut Street. Everybody told us, Rawhut Street, you know, gangs, drugs, you might get shot over there. I mean, but we still bought the property. That was episode, 5? And we ended up making a profitable flip. I think we have the owners who bought the house. There you go. The new owners are 912 Rawhut Street right here. So again, don't be afraid of, oh, that's the hood, because, you know, everyone needs a nice place to stay.
Absolutely.
So if you can buy that property, fix it up, and put a new homeowner in there, a new renter, that's going to improve that area.
Absolutely.
Key indicators in a particular market. You're in Raleigh, right? Yeah, I mean, all of North Carolina, you can't really go wrong. I mean, North Carolina in general is one of the second fastest growing state in the United States after Texas. Why do you think all these people are moving here from all over the country, moving to North Carolina? So Raleigh, Alamance County, Durham, Greensboro. I mean, if you find something that's undervalued, you can do well anywhere in North Carolina.
Do more renovation. So another part that didn't make the cut was we were going to renovate a mobile home for the show because it's in North Carolina. And it's huge population demographics who live in mobile homes, and it's super affordable housing, right? And that's not being showcased on TV. So we'll definitely be doing those for season 2. Really appreciate you guys for really staying in there with us and watching week after week.
And guys, make sure you at A&E, comment, tell them you want season 2. Stay tuned because we're coming back for another season.
And remember, it costs nothing to be polite.